Hi there, it's Liz from Isurus here, and today we're going to look at a really interesting product and something that we've used as Isurus in our band for various different applications. We've had it in a studio rig and I've used one in my guitar rig. It's by a Australian company called SM Pro Audio, and it's called the PM8, and it's basically an 8-channel passive summing mixer. So you've just got 8 inputs and it goes out to stereo outputs, so you can just mix levels. And I'm going to put up some pictures now of kind of how we've used it. We used it in a live rig to give us our headphone in-ear monitor feed. So we had a mix of the stereo outs of guitar, drums, bass and vocals through our rack, so we had control of our own monitor mix. And also in my guitar rig, I've used it for the output for my rig. Basically it's a wet dry wet rig with 2 amplifiers and various effects and things, and I'll sort of explain how I used it and what you can do with it. So looking at the front panel, you've got your 8 inputs, and you've just got all you have is a level, mute and your pan control. So that's that, and then you have 2 master output controls, which I'll explain in a second. So this is what I loved about this thing, is the ins and outs are great. You've got Neutrik combined TRS and XLR connectors, so you can use all sorts of equipment with it, whether it's XLR or balanced or unbalanced jack. It'll take all of them. And then you have 3 output stages, which is also really useful. The passive one is the cleanest and clearest, and you don't even need to power the device to use it, because this is a passive mixer. So if you're just using the passive output, you don't even need to plug it in, and you just need to send it to a high quality preamp or whatever to amplify it for however you're going to use it, whether it's for actually mixing down music or for live performance or whatever, really, monitor mixers. And these Master 1 and 2 are the other 2 outputs. So this is great, having 3 separate outputs. You can use them for different things, which is really, really useful. So Master 1 and 2, it actually has a makeup gain. I think it's about 25 decibels of powered amplification in there. So you're still kind of working at line level, really. But so that's like, it's got its own internal preamp, basically. And you can set those independently, which is really, really cool, really useful. Then also on the back you have an input link, which is 25 pin D sub, so if you've got any other device you can patch it into the audio chain through that, which is awesome. So you could have a bank of converters or whatever and have lots of other inputs coming in. You'd obviously have to level them externally from this, but there you go. And you have a specialist link cable, which is designed to actually link more PM8s together. So if you want more than 8 channels, if you want 16 or more, then you can use this link and you can build up a rack of passive summing mixing, which is really, really cool. So yeah, it's just going to be a really quick look at it, really. But I found it fantastic. I mean, the way I used it was I had an output from one amplifier here, and then a separate feed from my guitar rig, sent that to my effects processor, and I had the left and right returns for my reverb and delays in here. Then I had stereo outputs from another guitar preamp here. Then I used VG systems, so I had like VG88 or GR33, I had the left and right mix from them, and I didn't even use the 8th one, so that was the how I'd mixed all the outputs of all the various parts of my guitar rig to make the wet dry wet rig, and then it just outputted on through here, just XLR left and right jacks, and I can send that to 3 sources as well, which is really, really useful. So yeah, so that's a quick little look and explanation of what the PM8 does. Cool device. I mean, when I was looking specifically for a guitar mixer for making my wet dry wet rig, there really aren't that many options, and a lot of them kind of just not as well specced out as this, as well featured. And it's the actual connections are one of the things that really sold it for me, having like XLRs and TRS jacks and having the 3 outputs. And it's not a hugely expensive device. I think they're about £300 over here. roughly. But yeah, really clean sounding, great little mixer, so I'd highly recommend it if you're building any kind of audio rig, or you can even use it for final mix down summing if you want to have that extra bit of kind of analog passive summing to kind of glue everything together. So yeah, that's it, the SM Pro Audio PM8.